Happy Record Store Day, everybody, or I should say the day after Record Store Day. I did not do a video on Black Friday Record Store Day. I've been in the middle of my Beatles US Capitol deep dive series, and so took a break so I could show what RSD releases I picked up. And before you get too excited, I hesitate to call this a haul. The way that I approach Record Store Day is I've got this YouTube channel, and so I feel like there's an obligation. Like everybody who is a vinyl community YouTuber needs to be showing the records. They need to, number one, go to Record Store Day, and they need to show the records that they picked up at Record Store Day. So particularly on Black Friday Record Store Day, I feel this pressure, like I've got to have something for you guys. And so even though there were some titles I wouldn't have ordinarily picked up, I don't want to cheat you, my viewers out there, out of the Black Friday RSD experience. So people who are newer to my channel, I've got two record stores that are by my house. One's like a half hour away, one is 20 minutes away. The one that's half hour away, it's a busier store. They've got a great selection. That's why they're so busy. They've got imports, they've got all types of genres. They've got a huge used record section. And so that's typically the record store that I go to. And so I got up very early yesterday morning and I go to stand in line, and there's like 30 people already there. And it's like, should I have gotten up earlier? But I hate also the idea of standing out in the freezing cold for over an hour just so I can maybe find an album or two that I like. And so it kind of becomes, is it worth it? So I'm there and I'm standing in line, and of course I forgot my mask. I didn't wear the hoodie. So I got people coming up to me trying to take selfies, picking my brain about your channel. What videos are you going to do next after you're done with the Beatles series? And what do you think is your funniest video? And they're wanting me to sign their stuff. And after a while, it just got old. I just want to stand there and look at my phone and pass the time until I can get in the door. So I'm sick of that after a while. I'm cold. I can't feel my fingers anymore. My toes are numb. I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit the store that's a little closer to me. And the thing about the store that's closer to me is it's a little bit, it's in a shadier area. It is not a nice store. On the inside, it's a glorified thrift store. And I suspect that this guy sells meth out of the store in addition to vinyl. I almost feel like the whole vinyl record thing is a big front. But he sells the CBD oil, and you can get your marijuana and stuff there as well, which I do not. I don't partake. So I'm there for the records. So I'm driving there. I'm like, dude, because I've got a relationship with this guy. I've known him for a long time. He's always, hooking me up if there's any records that come into the store that he knows I like. So I'm calling him. I'm like, you got Record Store Day titles? He's like, I do. Bring them on. And so anyway, I get to the store and there's no line, which I'm like, that could either be a good thing or a bad thing. And so he waves me on in, and there's a box on the counter, and it's got RSD written in Sharpie. Not a whole lot of records in there. So already I'm kind of like, all right, well, probably there's not going to be Duran Duran. Probably there's not going to be The Doors or The Cure, Wish that I'd had my eyes on. But I'm like, well, I'll see what he's got. And again, I don't want to walk away with nothing. So I'm willing to be a little flexible in terms of the choices that, the purchasing choices that I'm going to make. So anyway, I pick up a couple of albums very begrudgingly because he didn't have anything that I wanted. And I was even questioning some of the titles. I'm like, I don't remember seeing these on the RSD list. And he's like, well, they're albums that they were shipped so late, or RSD, the pressing plant, there was a delay. They weren't sure they were going to have them for RSD, so they didn't put them on the list. But then they worked overtime at the pressing plant, and these actually were pressed and shipped out 2 select record stores. And I'm like, oh yeah, your record store? So anyway, I was a bit skeptical. None of them were in the shrink. None of them had the RSD sticker, but he said that's because they were so late. There was such a tight time frame from the time that they came off the presses to the time where they were shipping them out. So they don't have all the standard record store fanfare that you usually get. And I'm like, well, if you say so. So anyway, only picked up a couple of things because I'm not a fool. I'm not going to get ripped off. But so first thing I got, this apparently is a half Speedmaster, which again, I don't see anywhere on here. It looks, for all intents and purposes to me, like the usual jacket that you find, but he swore up and down, and he's like, you don't believe me? I'll knock it down from $45 to $40. I'm like, fine, but it better sound good. I haven't put it on the turntable yet, so I don't know, but again, he swore. This one, he didn't even have in a sleeve, but he insisted this was a midnight blue colored vinyl of, and I didn't have this before, Streetlight Serenade. It was one of the few that I didn't, so I was already predisposed to kind of pick this one up. And I'm like, for $35, this had better be colored vinyl. And he's like, it's midnight blue, and he's holding it up to the light. He's like, look, you see the blue tint? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, well, you're colorblind. So he's like, okay, 30. I'm like, sold. Because I'm not going to pass up. And then this was the thing. I'm like, all right, well, you know, if he's going to try, you know, and sell me these record store things, the least I can do is drive him down in price. So this one, he said, in the run out groove, there's a little snippet of music that wasn't on the original album. And I'm like, well, like, it's got this on it. How is that? And he's like, they replicate. It's the authentic original Foreigner 4 packaging. So anyway, this one, he's like, I'll give it to you for 25 bucks. And I'm like, fine. I haven't played this one yet either. But if it's not, I'm taking it back. I kept my receipt, and I told him, I said, if you're selling me a pile of garbage, I'm not buying this. I'm going to return it. And he's like, I swear. So anyway, this next one is a picture disc. I don't usually go for picture discs unless it's an album that I really, really want. And I don't have anything against picture discs. I do have a couple of them, but usually I'm going to buy the regular album with the sleeve. But this one, it was $15, and I'm like, all right, I've never seen a picture disc that cheap before. Although, you know, first of all, I'm like, this is not a picture disc. And he's like, yes, it is. I'm like, what is it a picture of? He's like, it's a picture of the original pressing of the album. I'm like, I guess, but I don't know, why would they have not just put the cover of the album on the picture disc? And he's like, I don't know. I'm not on the record store day committee. So, I mean, it is what it is. And he's like, I got what I got. If you either you want it or you don't. I'm already going to give it to you for 20 bucks. I said 15 bucks. He's like, fine. So, I mean, whatever. I don't know. This is also supposed to be a half Speedmaster. I have no idea. He's like, it's a limited edition promo. He said it's a numbered copy. But I mean, anytime somebody writes something in a Sharpie, a number on a Sharpie, I'm always like, I doubt it. So I'm pretty sure it's even got sticker residue on it from like a former price sticker. He's like, that's just how the cover was. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. He's like, yes, it was. I swear on my granddaughter. I'm like, well, I'm not paying more than 20 bucks for this. He's like, fine, $19.95. I said 15. He's like, sold. So I don't know. I'm gonna play. I swear to God, I'm gonna play these, and if they sound like crap, I'm taking them right back. I didn't spend 100 bucks on record store day to have a pile of garbage and not even get the stuff that I wanted. No Doors, no Duran Duran, no Cure. So anyway, I hope your record store day was a little more fulfilling than mine was. But anyway, have a great one. Enjoy your holiday weekend and take care.